your business idea work? Welcome back, everyone. This is David saying out last. Today I'm going to talk about a really important topic. Now, before we start a business, we always come up with lots of amazing ideas. I did, I'm sure you have, or if you're beginning to think of some ideas, this is going to be a real important lesson for you. Now, how exactly do we know if your idea will work? It's very simple. Today I'm going to talk about two factors that will determine that. Now, factor number one. Does the market say yes or no to your idea? I'm going to give you two examples on that. Now, the first example is back in the 1990s, there is someone by the name of Richard Branson. By the way, he's the CEO of Virgin. He thinks of a really brilliant idea. He wants to replace Coca-Cola with another brand, and it's called Virgin Cola. Now, what happened was he spent at least 2 years just to try to develop a formula and a taste of basically another cola that tastes exactly the same as cola. And he even did a really huge announcement on that in New York City back in the late 90s. And guess what? Have you heard of his name even by now? Virgin Coke? Not me, at least. Actually, what happened was this project was a failure. Even though the idea was really brilliant, he really wants to replace Coca-Cola with another drink that tastes similar. But he forgot to ask one important question. Was the public at that time ready to give up Coca-Cola because of the rising of another drink? If other drinks exist, would it make them give up Coca-Cola? He forgot to ask this really important question, and that was exactly why he lost billions of dollars just by trying to develop a different product to assimilate Coca-Cola, but it ended up not really getting the expectation from the market. The market said no. The second example I'm going to give you is my personal experience. Back in Canada, after I quit my job, I started a washroom app with two other partners. All of us, we are all IT talents. What happened was we quickly developed an app that helps people to find the closest washroom from wherever they are. And at that time, we thought it was a brilliant idea. Hey, what's bad about having an app that helps you to find the closest washroom? And guess what? We spent lots of money, and 1.5 years, we couldn't make any money. And as a result, we declared our project a failure. Again, very painful experience, mainly because we thought it was a great idea, but the market said no. Number two, does your product or service have some kind of barrier to protect it? Now, I will quickly explain to you what I mean by the barriers. Now, imagine if you have a company like Uber, Now, Uber is a company that comes up with a navigation system for any taxis. Basically, it has a system that helps to navigate people, help the drivers to pick up the passengers and then to drop them off at a certain location. Now, this system itself is very technologically advanced. It's very hard to copy. Now, this is what we mean by technological barriers. It is a piece of technology that is very hard for you to copy, and as a result, if you own this business that has this advanced technology that people cannot easily copy, you got the protection. Point number 2. Does your business have some kind of trademark to protect your service? An example is, once you design a service or product, have you gotten the legal protection so that your competitors cannot easily copy it? Imagine you have a business, and actually it's a real life example from my client. What happened was, one of my clients, he has a balloon business, and his whole business idea is to create very colorful balloons and to have these balloons used for like a birthday party setup for kids. Now, then I asked him, so how can you protect yourself from being copied from other people? He said, I don't know. You know what, these kind of ideas, even though it's brilliant, it makes the kids happy, but from the business perspective, it lacks, it's something that everyone can do. Everyone can just make these balloons and create like a party for kids. And that is exactly why, because the depth is not deep enough and people can easily mimic it, that's why it's not easy for them to avoid competition from other people. Third point, stars. Star powers, you know it. Do you have some famous people, any famous actors, actress, or even some people who are really renowned to advertise their product for you? An example is, we know some of the really big sports brands. Nike, they love to get the famous sport athletes to advertise for them, and I guess that's somehow we know about how we got to know about some of their products, like the shoes worn by Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. So star power is very important. Last but not least, platforms. On what platform are you advertising your services or products on? Are you using any kind of a social media, say Facebook, or like any like a TV programs, any things like that to spread the word out? Now, for startups, focus on the stars and platform. Technology is something that is going to take lots of money to build something very complicated. Trademark, obviously, it can take some money too. Now, and just for the brand building purpose for startups, I strongly recommend building on your popularity and also picking the right platforms to get your words out. Now, an example is, when I'm talking to you right now, like in this lesson, what do you think I'm doing here? Well, because as I give out this lesson, I'm actually increasing my chance of seeing you and also your chance of seeing me. And by doing that, as you are seeing me, then you become more familiar with me. And that's why I'm actually kind of building my own brand here. And because as you see myself more often, and if you start to trust on what I'm saying here, then you slowly try to have more confidence in my brand. And so can you. If you're having a startup business right now, I strongly recommend you, this is the way for you to build your brand, to increase the chances and frequency on how people can see you, let them see you more often. And how? Social media platforms. If you want to advertise your services, Facebook. You can start to do some posting, videos, text, and live, Facebook Live. Also, if you want to do business, say in China, WeChat, WhatsApp, many channels. As long as you spend the time, stay focused on doing a really good job on these platforms to build your popularity. Now, today I talk about the two topics. Using barriers to stop people from easily copying the business models. Last but not least, if you believe in one idea, does that idea also have a good response from the market?